James Jones at the Winter 2012 ICT Educator Conference in San Francisco with Mark Conway from NetApp.
Hello, James. Good afternoon.
Thanks for coming. Tell us just a little bit about NetApp as a company.
Well, NetApp is one way we like to describe ourselves as the premier provider of storage infrastructure to the cloud and virtualized enterprise. We're basically a storage provider. We're really focused on that cloud computing virtualization arena. It's been driving our business as companies adopt a virtualized approach to their business. It drives some of their storage demands, and it's kind of the sweet spot that we're in.
Okay. And you're based here in the Bay Area, but you're a global company.
Our headquarters are just down the road in Sunnyvale. This year we just passed about 11,000 employees, maybe 12,000 employees, $5 billion in business. And if you look at market share, pretty much across all of the high-end storage environment, we're kind of the second largest provider in most of that spaces.
Okay, and when we talk about storage, we're talking about data storage. And I stumbled across an interesting visual the other day. So if you took a 30 gig iPad and you stacked them on top of each other 61 feet high, you could build a wall between Miami and Anchorage, Alaska, and that would represent the amount of data that we have in circulation as of this summer. And it's snowballing. So the demand for management of all of this data storage is growing hugely. It's increasingly mission critical, and I guess NetApp is positioned with solutions for that data storage in the enterprise space.
Well, you know, that growth that you're describing, we refer to like the data explosion. We hear from our customers and from many of the analyst studies that data is growing at 50% a year for businesses, and if you look at their IT budgets, they're growing at 4 or 5%. So the idea of just buying more storage to keep up with the multimedia or the user demand, the user generated or unstructured data. I think in our personal lives and in your professional lives, we're all being inundated with data. And so the ability to store, manage, and analyze data is really becoming mission critical for most businesses. And that's part of what NetApp provides is the management structure to manage your storage environment much more efficiently, and then to be able to find that needle in the haystack so that you can take action from the data that you have. So
it's important stuff. There's a variety of storage technologies out there: network attached storage area networks, fiber channel, iSCSI,
yeah,
and so forth. So part of what we have to do is help people understand the differences between these technologies so they can make choices between them, but then also figure out how to make optimal use of them. So how do we make sure we've got a backup of our data? So if something goes south, we're not up a river. Disaster recovery scenarios, how we replicate data between different locations. So it's a big, complex space. NetApp provides fabulous technology solutions in this space. But I guess your particular role is in helping people learn to use these technologies.
Well, you know, the technologies that you mentioned, like storage area network, iSCSI, fiber channel, the tools to efficiently manage your data, deduplication, thin provisioning, storage tiering. I guess what we would contend is there's a new set of technologies being adopted by industry. We're seeing that there's a shortage of skilled people who understand that vocabulary and that technology. And so what we launched a year ago, literally a year ago this month, was the NetApp Academic Alliance program to work with colleges and primarily with faculty members who are interested in infusing the concepts and technologies related to storage and data management into their curriculum. So they might be teaching a class on introduction to computer information systems or on networking infrastructure or data center design. And we have materials that if you're in MIS and you're looking more at what are the business drivers for cloud computing and virtualization. What are the economics, the market drivers, the economies that, that are moving firms towards cloud computing. We have content and materials regarding that. If you were more on the computer science side and you wanted to drill down, how do you actually design and build those architectures, we have very deep dive technical materials. So really depending on the school, the faculty member's interest, we have materials that, we try to make it as much as we can vendor neutral. So, we want to get NetApp some visibility, but at the end of the day, the goal is to have the students understand the concepts related to storage area networks or to network attached storage. So when they go out into the marketplace, if they go to a company that's using IBM or EMC or one of our competitors, they're still going to be able to land running. So, in an ideal world, that's what we try to do.
Yeah. So these technologies contribute to the success of all kinds of different organizations, but to really implement them successfully, you've got to have a workforce that knows how to do it. That workforce doesn't exist, so we have to throw in somehow. All of us have to contribute in some manner to developing that workforce. So NetApp is putting some skin in the game through its academic alliance. You've developed resources that can help educators teach these concepts and, I guess, gain some sort of experience with it. You have a simulation environment, right?
Well, I was struck when you kicked off the conference today. One of the statistics you mentioned is that, while people are talking about the unemployment rate and that there's so many folks that are looking for jobs, but I think it was something like 50% of the employers in California saying they couldn't find folks with the right skills that they were looking for. And we hear that from our customers too, the idea of folks who understand storage and data management systems are in somewhat short supply. So, as I mentioned, in the session this morning, from NetApp perspectives, we look at this as an enlightened self-interest. We certainly would like to grow the awareness among faculty and students about our company and our technology. We're hoping that as those kids go into the marketplace, they'll be evangelists and think well and speak well of NetApp. But at the end of the day, if our customers can't find talent to manage their data and environment, we don't have customers to sell to. So it's as you say, we've put some skin in the game in terms of an investment around the academic program, and most of or all of what we make available is at no charge to the schools. But we'd like to think, over time, it's going to drive business for us and the IT community overall as well.
Great. So, educators, there's demand for storage knowledge and skills. And these are good jobs. They're available today. They're growing rapidly. They pay well. They support quality lifestyles. And we have companies like NetApp that are contributing educator resources to help you teach people how to work with this stuff. So if we have a faculty member who's now interested in your academic program, how do they find out more? How do they engage with you?
Well, certainly go to netapp.com and look for the Academic Alliance page. There's actually a simple email, academics@netapp.com. So if you were interested and wanted to send a note, that proxy gets sent to me, so it would come across my desk, or feel free to reach out to me, Mark Conway 3 at netapp.com. It sounds like a bit of a commercial, but there's a couple Mark Conways. You want to get to the right one. And we're, as I mentioned, the program's a year old. We are somewhat the new kids on the block compared to some of the other vendors, but we've gotten some great traction the first year, and we're looking to expand and grow the program. So if there are faculty members that are out there that are saying, I'd like to at least get a sense of maybe what I could, what's available and how it might fit with my class, we'd love to hear from them.
And I guess the thing that's really impressed me with this program is your flexibility, because there are learning modules, there's videos, there's a simulation environment you can gain experience with these technologies through, but you're not prescribing the way the teacher has to work with you. You're showing flexibility. Well,
we've struck, as I say, in this first year, we've probably worked with community colleges, graduate computer science programs, MIS programs in business school, undergraduate programs in computer information systems. So, across that spectrum, the faculty have different interests and different levels of technical detail that they want to cover. And so we really can't prescribe, I think, exactly one size doesn't fit all, so to speak. And so if they just want to look at some technical papers that they could use as a reading assignment that talk about real-world technologies in industry, we can easily provide that. We've got some great customer success stories that they're not quite a Harvard Business Review case study, but they talk about what was the technical challenge, the business challenge, what was the solution, and what was the benefit. They make for a nice little teaching module. The virtual simulator that I mentioned, at the end of the day, NetApp's real value add is around storage efficiency and the software and technologies that enable companies to manage their storage environment. And we can provide that a virtual simulator of that technology that can be easily deployed in a lab for students to work with. So, really, we hope to be able to work, as I say, with a breadth of schools and faculty, and in terms of programs from a 2-year community college up to a graduate MIS or graduate computer science. So,
great.
It's been good so far.
Well, I'm excited about this program. I view these as sort of public-private partnership opportunities. It's hard for educators to keep up with the pace of change in this field, and you guys keep up with it. You provide resources which allow educators to provide a great public service, developing a workforce that all kinds of different organizations need.
Well, it is a lot of work to keep up the pace of change, the pace of industry, and one of the curriculum packages we just put together was a package around private cloud. We put together some papers, some videos, some lecture notes, and to really make it easy for a professor to integrate it into their curriculum. But we have an advisory board, and one of the things they suggested to me was, make it a complete package. And what faculty members would really like is a test bank with questions and answers. And so we worked on that, and it really drove home to me how much work it is to create a test and have the right answers. And so it made an appreciation on my part of what the faculty have to go through to put together their curriculum. And so I think we're going to try to use that model in terms of, rather than trying to provide a whole semester's worth of content, we might put together teaching modules that would represent 2 or 3 weeks worth of content, but would be easily digested, I guess, by a faculty and the students. But the test part was more difficult than I expected, I can tell you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming out.
All right, James.
I'm
thanks for the
excited about
opportunity.
this.
All right, thank you very much.